my coffee. More garbage. 1 can of Hoo Hash, just in case I wanted to celebrate a good Christmas dinner. Made it back home safe and sound. Normally people do gear reviews before they go. I thought I'd tear this bag apart and show you what I brought on my little camping adventure. Starting with my food bag. I got my camera pouch, my tripod pouch. Got my lantern, which turned out to be a really good thing. I would have been in big trouble without my lantern. Good thing. In the dark, everything is difficult. I can't see nothing. Except for where this light is shining. Just a little more, got a little creek water, purified creek water left. I'm glad I got that on the way out. I filled it about halfway, but it really came in handy on the uphills. Even in the winter, you need to keep yourself hydrated. My garbage. Some trail mix, leftover trail mix. More garbage. A lot of garbage left over. Compass. Wandering around this woods, you'd get lost so fast. You really would. Everything looks the same. Didn't have to use a compass with all the snow and all that. Definitely a good thing to bring though. Hat. About a little bit of food, the sardines left over. I think that's a pouch of Tang juice. Mostly food in here. Brown sugar, which I didn't use at all. Another full day worth of food in that. Just some mashed potatoes. There's some more bacon in there. Some oatmeal. This is a map of another area that I didn't go to. I went to the other place. But in here is my water purification tablets. I used these ones, Aqua Tabs, and they take about a half an hour after you put them in. The water is good to go. I really like these other ones better though. These are made from catene. These ones are good ones. They take 4 hours to purify the water, but they dissolve better. They're bigger tablets. My axe. Sharpened that up on the grinder at work, and that was super sharp. But that did well. My tea bags, which I couldn't find. I am going to cook up some more coffee later. I need something warm to drink. The only other warm thing I got to drink is tea, and I don't quite sure where I put that. Wasn't really into tea anyways. Some extra paracord. My coffee. More garbage. 1 can of hoo hash, just in case I wanted to celebrate a good Christmas dinner. Didn't eat that either. Tin foil, spoon and a fork, can opener. I don't know why that shovel has a can opener. My legs are a little bit sore at the moment. The backpack, which weighed, when I left it weighed 40 pounds, and I just reweighed it, and it still weighs 40 pounds. I thought I was carrying home like another 50 pounds of water in my sleeping bag. It was a little bit damp. Untying this is a bit of a trick. Okay. Untying this is a bit of a trick. Paracord, this paracord works pretty good. I have to say, it really grips. You make a knot, you don't have to make a big fancy knot, and it grips pretty good. Undo that. Even in the cold. The other ties, the zippers get frozen and they're really hard to undo and they're hard to manage. This stuff is like bone dry, and it's flexible in the cold, and it stays flexible and dry and usable, and it grips well. Very strong stuff. Let's see, we'll undo my stove. That's my stove, but I wrapped the stove up in a tarp to keep the stove dry. I just pull up the stove, put the tarp down, and have a little camp out, a little picnic. Okay. Here's my tarp. It's a fairly heavy tarp. It's not heavy. It might weigh a pound, maybe. But it's really thick. Reinforce the top of my tent. If it snowed really heavy, I would reinforce the top of my tent so there would be no pressure on the poles. You don't want your tent poles to snap in the winter with the weight of snow. So if it was snowing 2 feet of wet snow, I would have tarped the top. And my stove, which, yeah, I had to rethink that idea. I'm not sure of that stove anymore. I don't know. It's butane. It's a butane 9001, whatever that means. But it's a butane gas, so that might be the problem with the heat of it and stuff. It's good for the summer and the spring, but it's doing the job. It's not really. The coffee was really hot. Cooked the rice eventually. It took quite a while to boil water and cook things. That's my air mattress, the self-inflating air mattress. It worked pretty good. The first night it worked pretty good. The second night, I had trouble. It felt a little bit cold on night 2. It was just as inflated. It was well inflated. I could just, when I touched it, it felt much colder than the first night. But it could have been just me. Who knows? But this didn't work too bad. Definitely a decent thing in the summer. And it doesn't weigh all that much either. My tents, which is a Ventura 3-person tent. Really, I'm not going to say anything bad about the tent. The way that the front door angles downwards, it does accumulate a lot of snow in the front. So that when you're inside and you unzip it after some snowfall, the snow just falls right into the tent. It was not too bad last night. Snowed a little bit. I shook it a couple times. During the night, get some of the snow off. So you gotta bang the snow away before you unzip it. It has a lean to it, and all the snow collects onto the thing. But seriously, without the tent, there's no way of surviving. Survival would be like 0 chance. Even with the tarp, what am I going to do with the tarp? Make a tent out of the tarp and survive the night? Maybe 1 night I could survive. 2 nights, I don't think so. You would have to have a fire going constantly to survive. My sleeping bag, this is, ow. My legs are real sore. I'm going to pull it off. My sleeping bag got a little bit wet after the second night. Doesn't feel too wet now. Feels pretty good. A little damp in spots. Nothing major, nothing soaking wet. That turned out to be a half decent deal. My in-tent setup. This is my sleeping bag right here. I got my sleeping bag, which is good to -7. I got a comforter from home. Inside. On the outside, I got a nice extra sheet. A little extra bed sheet to keep the heat in. It seemed, again, the second night was colder than the first. I put this around the bottom of my feet. I wrapped the bottom of the sleeping bag into the plastic bag in hopes that my feet would stay warmer. And that turned out to be a bad idea. Because in the morning when I pulled this off my sleeping bag, the whole bottom part of my sleeping bag was iced. It was just frozen ice everywhere on top of my sleeping bag. So this might retain some of the heat, but it also retained a lot of the moisture that was coming off me, I guess, the bottom of my sleeping bag, and all that moisture just froze solid. So when I woke up in the morning, the bottom of my sleeping bag was just covered with ice. But I did wake up warm. Well, actually, think about it. I did wake up. My feet were cold. Yeah, I really have to get that fire going in the morning. Okay. In here, the top pouch, I have binoculars, which I didn't use. I usually bring extra stuff and things for the in-case. Like the compass, the binoculars, the first aid kit. I bring those things in case something bad happens, in case I get lost. It's good to be able to look around at a distance of where you are with binoculars to figure out which way to go. Instead of like looking in the distance and going, I think I see trees down there, or I think I see a river, I think I see a road. It's good to have a set of binoculars. But I didn't use them, I didn't get lost, so that was good. There's my seat, which did come handy in the seat. You don't want to sit in the snow. So anytime through the walk in, it took 4 hours to get there. I can sit down and rest my legs, have a quick meal, and fold it up and go. Not too bad. In the snow, it's a little trickier because these things want to pull through the snow and get unlevel. So it's a little, in the snow, it's kind of tough to get it in a good spot. But very handy. I would take that again for sure. For sure. Even without one of those seats, being able to sit somewhere. Well, you're doing a lot of hiking, so not being able to sit down and breathe once in a while has always been tricky. You always do have to sit down. You wind up sitting down on a snow-covered log or something. I have all my cooking stuff, which smells like the forest. It smells like if I was a coyote or something, I want to lick those. I met one dog on the way back down out of there, and he was all over my food bag. He wanted something. He wanted pepperoni or something. So I have my really burnt out bowl. I bring metal of everything. I don't bring like plastic containers. Half decent deep dish frying pan. Cook my steak on that. Boiled a lot of snow in that. My plate. These metal plates are great. You can cook on them if you want. You can use them as a cover. You could cook your meal in there if you had to. And then divided it up a little bit. And a couple of, never used this one, a couple of metal grills. Go over the stove, go over the campfire. You can't do without those things. And some tin pipe pans, pie plates. That was to cook the cheese pizza. Maybe I can have a decent look at this pizza for you. Careful with the light on the stove. You can barely see this. Take the lid off. See if I can get the light to shine on this thing. And that. You can see that very well. Bunch of cheese and pepperoni. Cooking up a storm there. And you cook whatever else. I also cook bacon in one of these things. They're really thin metal, so it takes the heat quickly and cooks your food quickly, which is a bonus. My shovel, it came in handy. Ouch. It came in handy to help out with the fire pit. You don't want to be digging around. I don't know if I could take this in the summertime. But in the winter, you don't want to be digging and using your hands too much on things. It doesn't take much to get your hands cold, so the shovel turned out good. The rope, I didn't use at all. That's another one of those things with like binoculars and a compass. Rope will get you out of a tight spot if you, for some reason, tumble down a cliffside and now you're in a spot where you can't climb up by yourself, that you need some help to get up there. Otherwise you'd be stuck down in the middle of nowhere. Rope to reinforce a tarp over your tent, or even over yourself or a tree. Rope comes in handy. I wouldn't go, even in the summertime, I wouldn't go without rope. It's about 50 feet. And this stuff is good to 200 pounds. And I would climb a mountain with this. I wouldn't suspend my entire weight on it, but it would help you get through. Help you get out of a tight spot. 2 pairs of, these ones are solid wet, but 2 pairs of half-decent gloves. 1 pair that I keep dry for certain, another pair that I dig around stuff with. Those are likely to get wet, the other ones will stay dry the whole time through. Got more food in there, got a big thing of rice, some soup, and some extra flour type stuff you can make the bread out of. That's kind of heavy. But it's good to bring pancake mix or something you have nice carbohydrates. More food. I don't know why I stuck it in there for. Toilet paper for sure. Came in handy with the wax and toilet paper, I'll tell you. A little bit of wire. That's mostly for radio. Make sure it's some reception. Fucking needed that. That was my solar panel to recharge my phone or something. There's maybe not even an hour of sunlight. My radio comes in way handy. Gives you a little sense of somebody else is out there with you. Extra batteries. Batteries for my thing. Socks. Never use those. Handy dandy thermometer. And right now it says the inside of my house, well, the inside of the pack is 17 degrees Celsius. So, feels warmer than that. I don't know. 17 inside. I do have the heat on, so it's gotta be fine. That's pretty much that. On the side of this part here, I think I have my what do you call this thing? Got my emergency candle, glass candle thing going. It is going pretty good. Oops, it's almost went out on me there. Almost went out on me. There's a second wick in there somewhere. Probably burn it. It's right there. I can see it. Anyways, it's going pretty good. The jar is heating up like crazy. That way I can wrap my hands or my toes around it. That's pretty hot. It's kind of like a candle. It's my emergency survival candle thing. A couple lighters in here. So often there's that and a couple lighters. I also keep a lighter in my pocket. What I could have brought, what I should have brought, was more birch bark, more tinder, something to start the fire with for certain, other than making do and trying to work it out. I should have brought something that would hold the flame for a little bit. Had to concentrate on getting this fire going. It just was not catching for me. So, the problem was really, I mean the problem still is, the wood on the outside is like frozen and wet. On the inside it's pretty good, but on the outside it's frozen and wet. So what I had to do, since I didn't have any birch bark except for a few scrapings, what I did was I took some wax from my survival candle, wrapped that up in toilet paper, and stuck it in there, hoping that it would light for a little while. So I did a couple chunks and it took off. So I'm just leaning the sticks up now like this to dry them out a little bit. Brother. Particularly in the winter time. And in the summer you can mess around for 2 hours getting a fire going. So you can mess around with that. But in the winter and you're cold, you really don't want to mess around. You want to get that fire going when you need it going. I brought back lots of food. Food-wise, I could have spent another week or more out there eating pancakes and trail mix and rice and I think I had a pack of sardines left, another package of bacon. Can't go anywhere without bacon. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video a little bit. At least we got out there and amongst the hardwood and the pines and had a little breath of fresh air. So don't forget to get out there and build something.